Y'all, get your pussyfootin', lollygagging, fiddle fartin', meek magoo distracted asses in hyperfocus. Now, let's go conquer some goals.
Welcome back to Hyperfocus. I wanted to talk about a book that has been huge for me. I've had a lot of people ask me this question over the past few months, and they'll say, "What is the book that has most impacted you?" And of course, my answer is always this book, Not Nice, Dr. Aziz. He teaches confidence and he teaches unapologetically being yourself. And this book is a freaking mega-chonker. It's huge, but it's got a lot of good nuggets in it. So I think we're, 2/3 of the way done, and we've been reading it for a while. We'll read like 30 minutes of the book while we are eating lunch. On occasion, we'll switch it out with other books, but my God, this book has been great. So the subtitle literally says, "Stop people pleasing, staying silent, and feeling guilty, and start speaking up, saying no, asking boldly, and unapologetically being yourself." It's called Not Nice. And the whole salient point is that nice is not necessarily a good thing. Nice is the opposite of assertive. A lot of times people are just nice because they are afraid of what might happen if they are not. They are people pleasing. So I was a very huge people pleaser before I picked up this book, and it has taught me a lot about changing those behaviors in myself. And I think it could be really helpful to other people. One really great example of this is the idea that you have a bag of ones. And your bag of ones basically is this concept. When you walk into a room, let's say there are 100 people in that room. You're at this networking event. You walk in and you say hi to every single person in there. Maybe 99 of them will respond pleasantly. Maybe one of them will respond poorly. They'll look at you and they'll think, why are you here? I don't want you here. And you've never even met them before. Maybe it has nothing to do with you personally. Maybe you remind them of somebody else. Even if you are as nice as you can be, one person in that room still might hate your guts for no freaking reason. So the point is, stop carrying around that one person over your shoulder and thinking about it all the time. Focus on the 99 people in that room who give you a positive reaction, a positive response. For some reason, we tend to focus on this one person didn't like me for whatever reason. Why is that? And we're racking our brains trying to make people accept us. Why? Focus on the 99. Don't focus on the one person. Don't take that one person, put them in a bag, throw it over your shoulder, and carry it around like a freaking weight on your back. Release yourself. You don't have to please everybody. You're not for everybody. Isn't that relieving that you can just be like, I'm not for everyone. People won't like me, and that's okay. Screw them. The bottom line is, we don't have control over whether people like us or not. All we have control over is the way that we show up in the world. And if we show up in the world in a way that we are trying to make everyone happy, then we are never truly being ourselves. And if we are never truly being ourselves, then who really knows us? If I walk into a room and John, for whatever reason, doesn't like me, and I'm trying to make John like me, well, I'm not unapologetically being myself. I would rather be who I am 100%. And if John doesn't like me, so what? Jane and Jackson and Jasper and Jacqueline and Janine might all like me, okay? I don't care. Show up as yourself 100%. I would rather have one person who knows me truly and deeply. They know my personality, they know my inner workings, they understand who I am, rather than have 100 people like me because I was trying to put on a facade for them. Are you doing that? Think about it. If you're feeling like you are unsure of yourself and who you truly are, then you can start asking yourself questions to create this sense of self, this sense of identity. And then you can set boundaries between yourself and other people. Dr. Aziz walks you through this and asks you a series of questions, and they're simple questions, but they help you identify what you like and don't like and who you truly are so that you can say, this is where I end and this is where other people begin. Number one, what do I love? What do I like? What do I appreciate? What do I enjoy? For me, that might be music. If Willow, Wait a Minute comes on, I'll be like, wait a minute, I think I left my conscience on your front doorstep. I'll be getting into it. Apparently, the person who can generate joy out of music. I thought a lot of people were like that, but apparently that is not the case. However, I don't like live music as much as I like just listening to music in my house. I could be like boogieing down in my house, but if you go out to a bar listening to live music, that's not as enjoyable for me. The only time, see, I know myself, the only time that's more enjoyable for me is if I take my hula hoop because I can jam with a hula hoop to some live music. Number two, what do I hate? What do I dislike? What do I find bothersome? What do I find irritating? For me, that's probably birds. Birds are evil. The act of text communication, the act of email communication, trash. I hate it. I wish I could just talk to people face to face. It makes life so much easier. So that's something that I dislike. I don't like buffets. They drive me nuts. They're icky. I just don't like them. I I had a I had a relationship, and there were a lot of other things that ended this relationship, but one of the reasons was over buffets. Petty, whatever. It was going downhill anyway. Number three, what do I believe? For example, I believe that any human is capable of becoming great and pursuing something that matters to them. I think a lot of people have this mentality of like, I'm a victim or I wasn't built to do that thing. And I just don't believe that. I think that limitations with genetics do exist and we have to be cognizant of that. But I feel sorry for people who don't think that they can accomplish anything or that they don't have control over their lives. We have a friend, we have fun debates over it, but he'll be like, I don't have control over my life. And I'm like, I feel sorry for you. So shout out. Shout out to you, Mikkel. You know who you are. Number four, what is great about me? What are my endearing traits, great characteristics? For me, I have this quality of just fabricating joy out of absolutely nothing. Really small things tickle me, and then I giggle or I laugh or something of that nature, and then I make other people laugh around me as well. So, creating joy out of thin air is my gift to you. Number 5, what is my purpose? What is my reason for life? For me personally, I'm learning that that's teaching others how to find their voice and radiate their beauty out to the world. I think that a lot of people are giving up their time and their energy to things that they shouldn't. They're just giving it away, watching TV, going to bars and drinking, instead of focusing their energy on something really important that impacts the world. So for me, it took me a very long time to get comfortable with speaking in public. I started with Toastmasters and then went and took improv, and then I went into a coaching program for public speaking and communication, and now I'm doing a year-long coaching program for that as well. So that's something that I am feeling strongly about right now, is helping other people figure out those steps to find their voice and feel comfortable speaking up and speaking out for what they want and what they believe. So those are 5 questions that you can ask yourself in order to create that sense of identity, that sense of self, so that you know where you begin and other people end. Wait. This is where I begin and end. This is where the other person begins and ends. You knew what I meant. By answering these questions and knowing the answer to these questions, you're able to be more assertive about what you want. If somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, I think I want to eat the Indian buffet," I'm going to say, "I don't want to do that. I'm sorry, I don't like that." Whereas in the past, I may have said, "Sure, whatever," and I just would have went because I didn't know how to be assertive about what I wanted. I'll leave you with one of the quotes that I absolutely loved from this book. It was a quote from someone else, but it was inside of the book. It said, "You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's still going to be someone who hates peaches." Lessons for today: get the book. Not nice. It's the bomb. You're gonna love it. I promise. You're not for everyone. Show up unapologetically as yourself. And if one person out of 100 doesn't like your ass, don't put them in a bag and throw them over your shoulder and carry them around with you. Let them be. Just be who you are. All you can control is how you show up in the world. Know your boundaries. Ask yourself 5 questions to understand more of who you are if you have a lack of sense of self. Number 1, what do I love? Number 2, what do I hate? Number 3, what do I believe? Number 4, what is great about me? And number 5, what is my purpose? And remember, you could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, but somebody still might hate peaches. Thank you for watching.